Okay, so I just got my first Gigaminx, and I thought it might be interesting to do a bit of an unboxing and try to figure out how to solve it. So here we go. All right, there we go. And it looks like in the box there's just the Gigaminx, but I guess what else did I expect? Okay, and here it is. And it feels maybe a little bit dry and a little bit tight, but I guess we'll see how that goes. So this is the Yushin brand Gigaminx, or I guess according to the box, it is the dodecahedron cube, which I guess is a bit of a weird name. But anyway, I'm just going to scramble it straight away. Alright, I think that's scrambled enough. So I guess going into this, my experience thus far with similar puzzles is that I have previously solved 5x5s a bunch of times, and I do know how to solve a Megaminx. So I guess I'm sort of planning on combining approaches for those two puzzles to see if I can figure it out on my own. So I'm going to start with a sort of reduction method type thing. I'm sort of thinking at this point that I'm going to try and pair up a single edge with the center, then try and get some blocks of 2, and then we'll maybe get another block of 2, and then a final block of 3. Normally I do sort of like bars straight across, but I'm sort of thinking that won't work. I'm not so sure if this will be able to work for all of the centers though, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Okay, there we go, that's the first center done, so I think I'll just continue in that sort of a fashion until something happens that makes it so I have to change up my approach. Okay, 2 centers, continuing on. Okay, 3 centers, and I guess at this point I'm trying I'm trying to make it so that the centers are sort of being built next to each other. I guess I'm sort of figuring that if I sort of end up with a gap between them, it might be a bit of a pain to try and move pieces between 2 very far away places. So yeah, trying to build them next to each other. Alright, so it's looking fairly straightforward at this point. I'm just going to continue on until there are only 2 centers left, because I feel like that's where some interesting things might happen. Okay, so that's the last two centers that we're up to. I'm going to sort of try and do a similar approach of just try and build as much as I can, just by sort of, swapping things around, and then I'm going to see if I can figure out how to use some commutators, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I've got everything except for just one piece on each center, so I'm going to see if I can figure out a commutator. Okay, cool, too easy. So now I'm going to get started on edges. I anticipate that this will be fairly similar to doing edges on a 5x5, except I might have to be a little bit more careful with my approach. I think what I might try first is sort of building just sort of by using this top slice and pairing up just centers and edges, centers and one edge, and then sort of see how it goes from there. And I guess right away I'm noticing it's very difficult for me, at the very least, to find the piece that I need. So I'll have to, adjust for that. Okay, and right away what I've said has gone out the window. I'm going to pair up two, then flip the edge, and then pair up the third. I think that'll end up being a little bit easier. Okay, so at this point the difficult thing that I'm finding is getting used to not being able to do slices on the bottom half of the center to get things together. So something that I need to get used to, I guess, only. Probably a lot of people out there wouldn't struggle with that as much as me. Alright, at some point I've messed up the centers. Very good, that. Let's try and fix that. And continue, and hopefully I won't botch up too much else. Okay, so I'm up to the last two edges, I believe. So I know a way that I can solve this intuitively, I think. I'm going to flip this edge over. Then I'm going to pair this one up. Flip this edge over without messing up the centers, hopefully. And then finally, I believe that's all of the edges solved. So I'm fairly sure that there would be sort of an edge flip parity where you have one of these center edge pieces flipped compared to the other two outers. So I don't know what I would have done if I'd gotten that. So thankfully I didn't. So now I'm just going to solve it like a Megaminx. And that takes me quite some time on a regular Megaminx, so I imagine that on this it's going to be quite awful. So, okay, so that's my cross. Alright, so I guess first two layers done there. Now I'll continue on. Okay, and now I believe I'm up to the stage where I can do this corner and this edge here, so I'll do that. Alright, finally up to the last layer. And this is where my lack of Megaminx skills will start to become a severe detriment, I'm sure. Okay, so now I'm going to put the corners in their correct positions. Okay, so now I just have to orient the corners. And there we have it. Cool. So that is my first time solving a Gigaminx. Looks like it took me probably just under 50 minutes, so probably fairly bad, but there you have it. All right. Thank you for watching if you watched through the whole thing, and subscribe if you want to see more. Goodbye.